UPK shit, man. One West. Hey. I'm a UPK nigga, I'm stuck in my ways. That's on them, letting cowards fill up they ranks. Goddamn, lost tribes got them following waves. Loyalty a lifestyle, nigga, I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm a saint, no New Orleans, it's going up. Next spot, we at the B&B. I'm turned up, I pull up in the SRT. Burning rubber, hey, UPK shit. Look, met her at the club, told her pull up to the lobby. She know I'm in the coat, we're all black, no Illuminati. This my other half shit, I can't move without it. These my motherfucking brothers, yeah, what I'm gonna do without them, yeah. If it's beef, I can't wait to sink my teeth in. Niggas going overboard, they off the deep end. Why you tripping off that hoe? That's some weak shit. Told him put me in the game cause I love defense. Yeah, put me in the game, coach. Fuck you thought, he let his colors fly. He ain't cut, we cut him off. Yeah, bounce on, let my fringes swing. Yeah, I'm a dog, and she say she find me interesting. Yeah, want me to call, put me in the game, coach. Fuck you thought, he let his colors fly. He ain't cut, we cut him off. Hey, bounce on, let my fringes swing. Yeah, I'm a dog, and she say she find me interesting. Yeah, want me to call, I ain't gotta settle. I got options, ma. No, I stand on business. My name not Tazar. I'll pop you with this pocket rock. Feed a nigga shells like a taco truck. Hey, this bitch got sound effects. It go pew pew pew. I ain't tripping on no drink, got bottles in a room. I'm in Durham, North Carolina, bitch, it's 12 a.m. Look at them, they ain't none of us, and we ain't them. I told him, put me in the game, coach. Fuck you thought, he let his colors fly. He ain't cut, we cut him off. Hey, bounce out, let my fringes swing. Yeah, I'm a dog. Hey, she say she find me interesting. Yeah, want me to call. Put me in the game, coach. Fuck you thought, he let his colors fly. He ain't cut, we cut him off. Hey, bounce out, let my fringes swing. Yeah, I'm a dog. Hey, she say she find me interesting. Want me to call, yeah. UPK shit, man, you already know what it is. It's the 55th annual Passover, man, turn up. We gonna do this shit the UPK way, not the other way. You hear me? Yeah.
Buddha.
Look, I ain't the hardness. I'm a good soldier. Yeah. My niggas is killers. I ain't gon' hold you. This shit is not for the weak. I already told you. They taught us to yak around. Watch how you approach us. Blood of my brothers. This for the blood of my brothers. Yeah. Blood of my brothers. This for the blood of my brothers. Yeah. Blood of my brothers. This for the blood of my brothers. Yeah. Blood of my brothers. This for the blood of my brothers. Yeah. When Babylon fall, the meat gon' inherit the earth. I never turn pussy. You gotta bury me first. I get the word from Cap. I'ma just go, yes sir. Please don't play with your life, or you'll get seriously hurt. Over my brothers. We doing numbers. You like to talk a lot, but you'll get humbled. Hey, fuck all my enemies. Yeah, cause they make a tumble. You gotta be disciplined. Can't do what you want to. Outside is a jungle, and I got the heart of a lion. I just did Hebrew Academy, tried through the fire in the heart of a crisis. Everybody wanna talk tough, but only a dummy would try us. They told me life about war, so I ain't gonna never stop fighting. I know that they fools, but I cannot pity them. Niggas is taking them lies too serious. All black everything know it, but fearing them feds is watching. I gotta stay diligent. I gotta stay militant. Yeah, I know that I'm killing them. I ain't the hardness. I'm a good soldier. My niggas is killers. I ain't gon' hold you. This shit is not for the weak. I already told you. They taught us to yak around. Watch how you approach us. Blood of my brothers. This for the blood of my brothers. Blood of my brothers. This for the blood of my brothers. Blood of my brothers. This for the blood of my brothers. Blood of my brothers. This for the blood of my brothers. front line. That's double time. I ain't throwing no flags, they let their colors fly. I'm UPK certified, follow the chain of command. We don't want cowards in here, them niggas can stay where they at. Fuck what they saying, it's cap, these devils is hunting our steps, so I ain't leaving no tracks. I'm about the Lord business, I ain't playing with them, and I'm standing on that. I got my foot on their neck, I got the world in my hands, I ain't even breaking a sweat. You not even a threat, I'm a soldier, head on a swivel, I'm always in motion. He move like a coward, cause real soldiers don't show no emotion. They just do what they supposed to. Yeah, it's the Lord's army. These niggas fall under pressure. I ain't talking about origami. We went to trials like we was fighting the case for manslaughter. I learned to yak a rob. I put these hands on them. It's crazy they had dropped sword after you would stand for him. He couldn't endure to the end, his cover is hanging in headquarters. Yeah.
Yeah. Mic check 1, 2, you hear me? 144 back again. Run it back. Yeah. It's time to leave the enemy desolate. I'm heaven sent. These niggas just on some extra shit, and I ain't impressed with it. Could you kick that bullshit to the left of it? Hey, look, you can't deny this excellence. I use this mic like weaponry, and I've been seeking more clarity. Right now, I'm ready as I'll ever be, rugged as I ever been. The devil knocking at my door, I'ma let him in. Cause I'm a worthy adversary. Pour them liqueur, laced with rosemary. It's time to grind, ain't no time to tarry. Take one of mine, get your soul carried. I got them worry, plus these niggas full of estrogen. They fickle, they false. Got a big ball, so end up in the real issue. Fuck with my brethren, I deal with you. Yeah. Look, it's getting real official. Seeing how them bitches can cross you, and how they still twist you. It'll hit you, then peel a tissue. Them others weak, my brother's been sent to the deep. So tell me, how can I turn the other cheek while this wicked world trying to smother me? Something gotta shake, I'm gonna cry it out. Time to gird up my loins and ride out. In my soul, I feel devastation. In my eyes, I see desolation. On my door, death is waiting. But I don't wanna see no more desolation. I said I don't wanna see no more. Hey, in my soul I feel devastation. In my eyes I see desolation. Out my door, death is waiting. But I don't wanna see no more desolation. But I don't wanna see no more.
Beat the cops, beat the ops, beat the motherfucking eyes. I'm the one. Why you think that I've been rolling with a Kai? Your little arms is too short to hotbox with God. French is long, team strong with them, a gun, die would die. Tired of these fake snakes, crooked Nate to oppress Jake. No pressure makes diamonds I won't break on this crooked landscape. We gon' make some shake, so I ain't got time to argue with you fucking reprobates. While these crackers getting richer when we raise the crime rate, and they hunt my people like gorillas and some primates. So we in these streets trying to raise a brother's mind state in every concrete jungle, from Cali to the tri-state. I buried brothers over beef that they couldn't squash. Blood in the streets, brains out like galoshes. I trust the cracker when I mix that squash. You listening to real niggas, dog, who can't be bought. Whoa. Why you think I go so hard? Cause this world's fucked up, nigga, I've been scarred. PTSD, brothers can't drop their guard. Every day some bullshit, you gotta weave and bob. It's no facade, so every day I'm on my job. It's time to send these devils to the land of Nod. Cause when I lost my religion, that's when I found God. So when I lost my religion, nigga, I found God.
In my soul, I feel devastation. In my eyes, I see desolation. On my door, death is waiting. But I don't wanna see no more desolation. I said I don't wanna see no more. Hey, in my soul, I feel devastation. In my eyes, I see desolation. On my door, death is waiting. But I don't wanna see no more desolation. And I don't wanna see no more.
Cops killing niggas, man. Word up, man. Voting ain't gonna help us, man. Marching ain't gonna help us, man. protesting ain't gonna help us, man.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me. Gray skies overhead just isn't looking likely, but I try to do the right thing like Spike Lee, and I talk to God, the one and almighty. Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me. Yeah.
Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me.
Have mercy on
Man, this
me.
shit ain't no joke, man. This shit ain't no joke. Like the boy cried wolf, I ain't blowing no smoke. You don't gotta look far to see it ain't no hope in this fucked up world. I'm just trying to stay afloat. I grew up in the ghetto in the middle of the streets, HELL, the belly of the beast. Thanksgiving came around, I wasn't having no feast when the landlord talking about breaking our lease. Goddamn, what's next? My girl broke with your boy and she did it in the text that if I couldn't have nothing that I could have love besides love for the money and selling these drugs. Sometimes it seems like it's the only way out, but every day I'm getting older and it's getting played out. Can't end up in the pen trying to find a way out. Lord forgive me for my sins, for my heart gave out. My dad died, biggest loss I ever had to take. He a big part of the reason I'm the man I am today. And moving on was a move I wasn't trying to make, but I got sons now, so I gotta lead them out straight. And even though success is looking unlikely, I stay mighty and pray nightly and remain doing the right thing like Spike Lee, which is hard in this life for a nigga like me. All my life I had to fight like my name's Sophia. Always had heart and in my heart was no fear. Boy, I stayed in some trouble always stay near. When you black in America, that's all you cold here, I can't lie. Some days I wanna break down and cry for me and my people that's fighting to stay alive. Cause living ain't living when you living to survive. Guess we living in hell till the heavens arrive. Now I mean,
What it's like for a nigga like me.
like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me. Gray skies overhead just isn't looking likely, but I try to do the right thing like Spike Lee, and I talk to God, the one and almighty. Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me. Yeah.
Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me. What it's like in this life for a nigga like me. Every day I gotta fight my demons. Wake up, thank God I'm breathing. Cause all nightmares, America's dreaming. Trying to find a way to make it while surrounded by heathens. No stress long as I got a coat and I'm eating. I'm blessed and I know the most high's the reason. But my heart's bleeding through my sleeve is seeping. For all the things that I've been peeping. Type of shit make you say fuck it and sleeping. Cause while you was sleeping during the evening, for brothers got gunned down over the weekend. Stretched out in the streets left leaking. Laid out white sheet, mom's grieving. All lives gotta have more meaning than another nigga dead in the paper I'm reading. Baby mama bitching every time that you speaking. Talking like she gonna take the kids as she's leaving. How we go from kids to ending up in the deep end. Sink or swim, lose or win, saint or sin. Where does the change begin? And when does the bullshit end? Cause I wake up in the morning, gotta do it again. Go to sleep, go to work and just do it again. Damn. Can't pretend, cause when you stand out, it's hard to blend. And what I stand for, don't fold the bend. Cause I heard real folks don't got too many friends. Cause when you speak the truth, then you tend to offend. So, while I'm gripping this pen, Lord, please have mercy on me. Amen.
It's time for my people to come together and rise up. The only way we gonna take our royalty back, man, is if we do just that, man. Take it back. Kwame Yashala, nigga. Time for us to rise out of our oppression. A wise man told me each one teach one. So I need you to reach out to your brothers and sisters and teach them, man. There's no reason we should still be getting hung from trees in this day and age, man. Lord, please have mercy on me.
All right, let's clap it up for the class. All right, Shalom Israel. This is the ISUPK, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, under Commanding General Yohanan. And since 1969, we've been putting boots on the ground to teach that the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans here in North, South, and Central America are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of, and God's true chosen people. Last week for our history class, we did part 1, the undisputed truth on Ruth being an Israelite. And we're going to go ahead and do a very, very quick, very condensed recap on what we went through last week. We got it up on the board. I'm going to give you a visual representation alongside with some of the scriptures that we got going on over here. If you could bring that camera over towards me.
Go.
All right. All right, and Salaki for the crude drawing, but we're gonna go ahead and show you. So, right, in the Bible, in Numbers 21, it talks about them going up to Jahaz, right? So what Israel did coming out of the wilderness from Egypt, right? They went underneath the land of Edom. They went past the land of Moab, because in Deuteronomy 2:9 it tells the Most High told Moses and the rest of the Israelites, don't touch Moab and Edom, just compass around them. So they go over here to Jahaz, right? And that's proven up in Numbers 21 and 21 through 22, right? And in Jahaz, Israel sends messengers up to the king of the Amorites, Sihon, right? So up in Sihon, they tell us like, hey, can we go through your land? We won't touch any of your water, your grapevines, your any type of natural resources that you got. Just let us go through the land, go into the king's highway. This is the king's highway over here, right? So they went past the Zered up to the Arnon River, and I told you how important before the Arnon River is. So they stopped at Jahaz right over here and said, hey, can we go through your land? We won't go ahead and touch nothing at all, right? Not even your water. We won't even touch your water, right? Just allow us to come through here, go onto the king's highway, so that we can go ahead and cross. And Sihon not only said no, not only did he say no, he went to war with Israel, right? And then he went to war, and boom, where this whole land right here, in between the Arnon and the Jabbok River, right? That's all Amorite territory over here, right? Israel destroyed them down to the last man, woman, and child, and all of the Moabite slaves that were held here. Now remember before, right? Moab previously had the entire territory here. They went from the Jabbok River, Arnon River, down to the Zered. This was all Moabite territory. And then Amorites came, took this land over here, and then that became theirs. Israel came through here, had battle with them, and then took over this land. So Israel had land from the Jabbok River to the Arnon River, right? And then afterwards, Og, the king of Bashan, had went to war also with Israel, right? And we destroyed them. And they said we did the same to Bashan as we did to the Amorites, as we did to Sihon, all right? So now we own the land from the Jabbok River all the way north up to Mount Hermon, right? All the way up there towards Damascus, because that's where the King's Highway is, right? The original plan for Israel was to go ahead and go past here, go up to Jahaz, take the Arnon River up to the King's Highway, go up past the River Jordan and into Canaan, right? But because of the oppositions that was going on, the Most High said, take this land also and take this land over here, right? So now we own land from the Arnon River all the way up to the mountains, right? And we've taken all of that over, and then Moses gave that land to Gad and Reuben and half of Simeon, if I'm not mistaken, right? Took this whole land over from the Arnon River over here because this land was good for their cattle, right? According to what the Bible tells us, right? It was good for their cattle over here, right? And then we talked about, you know, that's going on over there, and then where the plains of Moab is at, and we talked about that the plains of Moab is close to where Jericho would be on the map. So now if we go ahead and get another map, we'll show that Jericho, once all this land gets taken over by Israel over here, Jericho is around maybe about this area here, right? On the other side of the Jordan, right? And not touching the Jabba. But they said Jericho was within the plains of Moab. And so was Bashan. And Bashan is over here, right? So around this area over here, they say is the plains of Moab, right? Even before Israel took it over, this wasn't even Moabite territory anymore. Just like I said, this was territory that was 3 times taken over. It was taken from the from Moab, who had the land. Then the Amorites took it over, but it was still called the plains of Moab, right? And then Israel took it over, and this was then given to Reuben, and it was still known as the plains of Moab afterward, right? And then we know this land has been long considered afterwards as Israelite territory, because once we go into the book of Judges, because understand that Ruth was in the time of the Judges, right? And then let's do a quick recap on Judges, right? Where Judges 11, Judges 11 and 4, Ammon over here goes on a warpath against Israel, right? Which is all this land already. So now the elders get Jephthah, and that's according to Judges 11 and 4 through 5, and then 12 and 15. Ammon's on the warpath over here. The Ammonites are so-called Japanese, right? And then in Gilead, they send messengers. They send Jephthah over, and Jephthah is like, listen, this land's been ours for 300 years. 300 years already. Mind you, that was said in Judges. Ruth is taking place in the time of Judges, right? That's said in Ruth 1 and 1, right? So for 300 years, this land over here has been Israelite territory and has been long held within that for generations already, right? So now, after that's all said and done and everything, now we went into the Hebrew for certain words, right? Such as like the country of Moab. So in the country of Moab, just like here in America, if you're in the city and you say, we're going down towards the country, it's somewhere down in the sticks. It's somewhere down where there's woods, vegetation, stuff that you don't see in the city, right? So now that we have established this over here, right? Now we're going to go ahead and continue on, right? We've went over the Hebrew word for plain, the plains of Moab, what plain is, and the plain is country, right? So now what's going on, sir?
What exactly is the Hebrew name for that country, that word that you're talking about?
The Hebrew name for what? Oh, the Hebrew for the word plain, right? It's going to be Shaddad. It's going to be Strong Concordance H7704.
7704.
Yeah, Shaddad, right? That's in the ancient Hebrew, in the Assyrian, in the modern Hebrew language, is pronounced as Sadeh or Sadeh, right? Where one of the definitions is a plain, right? So that's for the word country, right? That's specifically used in Ruth 1 and 22, right? So now we did that, and then this land has been held by Israel for over 300 years, and just like I said, there were no Moabites in that land at all. Every last man, woman, and child, every last Amorite, nation of Bashan, right? This whole area over here, down to the last man, woman, and child, and their slaves and captives were eliminated. They were destroyed. Nobody else other than Israel inherited that land for 300 years, right? So now we're going to go into the rest of the Hebrew. We're going to go into the rest of the class today, and we're gonna get into where Ruth was born at. So Salagis, if we can bring this camera up over here where I'm at.
Did you want it back to
Yeah, back.
Oh, go back.
Yeah, that was just my recap.
All right.
So. All right. So Ruth was born in the plains of Moab during the time of the judges, and for 300 years, just as I said before, it's been Israelite territory all the way up at the time of her birth. Now, there's going to be a lot of questions. There's going to be a lot of things that people say in doubt when it comes to Ruth being an Israelite, right? The things that the scoffers say. So one of the questions that Christians and other Israelite groups, they go ahead and ask is, if Ruth was an Israelite, then why did the Bible call her and her sister, Orpah, right, women of Moab, right? So now, let's, Baba Kasha, if we could go up to Ruth 1:3-4.
Fine.
Right, so now we're going to go ahead and read over where they refer to Ruth and her sister, or like her sister-in-law, Orpah.
Said 1 and 3, right?
Khan.
All right.
Right, why they were called women of Moab.
Ruth, chapter 1, verse 3. So that you're sharing, yeah. And Elimelech, Naomi's husband, died, and she was left, and her 2 sons.
So now, as we did in the first class about Ruth, right? Ruth and her husband Elimelech and her 2 sons left Bethlehem, Judah, because of a famine, right? And they went and they sojourned into the land over here by the plains of Moab, that they call it, right? Which is actually in the land of Reuben, right? Continue on, sir.
And they took them wives of the women of Moab.
Oh man, once again, Christians got me, man. Ruth's a Moabite then, I guess, because they called them women of Moab, right? Now, this phraseology over here, women of Moab, is only used once in the Bible, and that's only here. Any other time, the Moabite women are called daughters of Moab. This is when they're talking about bloodline Moabites. They call them daughters of Moab, right? Now, let's go ahead and take a look of something like that where it says daughters of Moab, right? Baba Kashab, if we could put up Isaiah 6:2.
All
right.
Isaiah chapter 6, verse 2. And above it stood.
Say
Isaiah, right?
All right. Yes, it's not in that book. But if you can, Baba Kashab, if you could put up the blue letter for that
the blue letter.
Daughters of Moab. It's on one of your pictures up there that I sent you, sir.
You said it's on the picture?
Come.
Let's see, Isaiah.
No, just the.
Oh, where I just
the Hebrew, the Hebrew letters for is gonna be Strong's 4124.
Oh, the Hebrew letters.
Yeah. So not that one. The next one, 41. Yeah, Khan, that one.
All right, and share it.
Khan.
Okay, here we go right there.
All right. So now it says here, right? For the daughters of Moab, we're going to go down, right? The translations and the biblical usage of it, right? It's going to say Moab of his father, which is translated, a son of Lot by his eldest daughter, a nation descended from the son of Lot, right? Now, those are the definitions that are going in there. Now, notice that the two definitions used are descended or descendant to go ahead and describe like the bloodline descendants of Moab, right? Was it let me get also Isaiah 6:2. Was it? I think I said 16:2. That's
16:2.
No, yeah, it's gonna be Isaiah 16:2.
All right, Isaiah chapter 16, verse 2. Let me share this. For it shall be that as a wandering bird cast out of the nest, so the daughter of Moab shall be at the fort of Ammon.
Of Arnon.
Arnon.
All right, so now as you see here, there's a distinct difference, right? So in this one, they're referring to bloodline descendant women of Moab, right? Daughters of Moab. But when we go to Ruth, right, it's saying women of Moab, right? It's saying there, and they took them wives of the women of
Right.
okay, yeah. And they took them wives of the women of Moab, the women of Moab. But in Isaiah 16:2, it says daughters of Moab, right? So that there's a big difference between the women of Moab and the daughters of Moab, right? So now we went over what the daughters of Moab were, right? That's in reference of the bloodline descendants of them, right? And Baba Kashaw, if you could put up the other Hebrew word, the Strong's 4125.
4125.
No, that's not it. That's the one right there.
All right. Wait a second. All right. Okay.
So this is the word right here that's being used in Ruth 4 and 1 and 4. Salakia. This is the word that's being used in Ruth 1 and 4, right? To define the women of Moab. It's going to be Strong's 4125 right there, Mawa'abya, right? This word is different than Isaiah 16:2, right? Let's go ahead and read out the definition of this, Baba Kashaw. So it says, Moabite, from father, what father? A citizen of Moab. Scroll down. A citizen of Moab, not a Moabite, a person that is dwelling in that land. A citizen of Moab, an inhabitant of the land. There's nothing in there that's saying, of the children of Lot,
Right.
of the children of Moab. Nothing. It's just, this over here is just saying these people are just living in that land. Nothing in this definition expresses a descendant, right? So any woman who lived in that place, right? In that place of Moab, was considered a woman of Moab,
Right.
whereas a daughter of Moab was said to let you know that it only spoke about bloodline descendants. However, women expressed that they only lived in the land. If Ruth was an actual Moabite, then Ruth 1 and 4 would have said daughters of Moab, right? But it doesn't say daughters of Moab. It said women of Moab. So there's a big difference there, right? I got another picture that shows those two words, No.
Let's see.
No, you just passed.
This one right
Yeah,
here.
that one.
Oh,
Let me see that one. Yeah. Oh, no.
Oh, man. Give me a second. I just.
Con. All right. So, as Officer Parataza goes ahead and pulls that up, once again, Ruth 1 and 4 would have had something completely different. Yeah. Con. So yeah, just right there. That's the picture. You can click on that picture, sir. Yeah. Right there. So is that being seen right now?
Yeah.
All right, so there you go. That's the difference. You can see the difference in spelling. It's a completely different word, right? It's a completely different word between the daughters of Moab and the women of Moab here. And since they're different words that are used, Moab and Moabia, right? It's a difference between saying like, if you're living in China, if you're a Chinese person, or, just a person that's living in China for like, because they're working there or something, someone like Stephon Marbury, who's, playing in the Chinese basketball league. So, that's a good example of something that's like that, right? He's not Chinese at all, right? But he's in the land, he's living in there. So he would be considered a Chinese citizen, right? So that's the difference in that, right? So now Ruth can't be considered, let's see what else here, right? So now there's another question of contention that Christians and fake Israelite groups and the miseducated in this, they go ahead and bring up this point of contention where they say Ruth can't be an Israelite because she referred to Naomi as being a different people than her, right? So now if we go up towards Ruth 1 and 8, right? So let's bring it up to Ruth 1 and 8, and then I'll go ahead and
1 and 8?
Con.
All right. Ruth.
So once again, right, that's another question that people bring up. That's another question that people bring up in terms of contention, in terms of them trying to dig deep and dig hard, and they're reaching for absolutely nothing when they say that Ruth is a Moabite, right? They say she can't be an Israelite because she referred to Naomi as a different people than her. All right. Now in Ruth 1 and 8, we'll go ahead and discuss where that's being said. All right. If we can get
Ruth chapter 1 verse 8. And Naomi said unto her 2 daughters-in-law, go, return each to her mother's house. The Most High deal kindly with you. As
Salakia. So in the Bible, in the book of Genesis, it says that when a man and a woman marry, that the man will leave his mother and his father's house, right? And they'll have a house with their wife. They'll become one flesh, right? So the two women from the plains of Moab, which is Ruth and Orpah, were married to Naomi's 2 sons. Hence here it says, and Naomi said unto her 2 daughters-in-law, return each to her mother's house. So as we've established last week, Naomi's husband died and her 2 sons died, right? So now Naomi is like, listen, your husbands are gone, right? Go back to your mom's house, right? There's really no house here with your husbands because your husbands aren't here anymore, right? And the Lord and the Most High deal kindly with you, as He have dealt with the dead and with me. So it's like, you've treated us well, you treated me well, right? You've treated my sons well, right? So the Most High is going to go ahead and do the same thing with you. Most High is going to go ahead and treat you as sisterly as you treated me, and as wifely as you treated my son, right? If you go down to verse 9, Baba Kasha.
All right. Now, Ruth, chapter 1, verse 9. The Most High granted you that ye may find rest, each of you in the house of her husband. Then she kissed them, and they lift up their voice and wept.
So Orpah and Ruth, they're kind of destroyed because, not destroyed, but they're emotionally distraught because their husbands have just died right now, and then the mother-in-law, the person that was also there with them, is like, listen, this is, unfortunately, we have to go our ways now, right? And then they felt so strongly about it that they cried. And continue on.
All right. Ruth, chapter 1, verse 9, verse 10. And they said unto her, surely we will return with thee unto the people.
Unto thy people.
Oh, unto thy people.
And now, as we see here in verse 10, it said unto thy people. Right? So now we see Ruth is telling Naomi that she wants to go back with Naomi to Naomi's people. Right? Content.
Oh, Salakia. Yeah, it just dawned on me. She's weeping with her sister. And she said, I'm going to go back to my people. You know what I'm saying? If it was, so right now, this is the distinct that she's an Israelite or somebody else. She's going back to her people. Her father's people.
Right? So now this is Ruth that's telling Naomi that she wants to go back with Naomi's people. So now we have to find out where Naomi is going back to, right? In Ruth 1 and 7. Can you go up to Ruth 1 and 7, Baba Kasha? Just scroll up from there.
Ruth chapter 1, verse 7. Wherefore she went forth out of the plains where she was, and her 2 daughters-in-law with her. And they went on the way to return unto the land of Judah.
No, unto the land of the Chinese.
Unto the land of Judah.
No, unto the, wherever descendants of, these Far East Asians are coming from.
And her 2 daughters-in-law with her, and they went on the way to return unto the land of Judah.
So now, Naomi is going back to her people too, because remember, her husband died, right? Now let's point out where Naomi's husband is from. Elimelech is his name, right? If we could go up to Ruth 1 and 1, Baba Kasha.
Ruth, chapter 1, verse 1. And now it came to pass in the day when the judges ruled, that there was a famine in the land, and a certain man of
Bethlehem, Judah,
went to sojourn in the country of Moab. He and his wife and his 2 sons.
All right, so Elimelech was from Bethlehem, Judah. Naomi was from Judah, right? These are 2 Judites, right? Obviously, you know, they're two Judites. So now we've already proven that Ruth is an Israelite. She dwelt in the land. She was born in the land of Israel already, right? And so pretty much what Ruth was saying to Naomi, let me return back with you to your tribe, right? Ruth wanted to extend her sisterhood with her, right? So now that's pretty much what she's saying. You know, let me return back to your people. I'm from this side of the land over here, as we showed up on the map. You know, I'm from this side over here, but I don't want to stay here anymore. I want to go up to Judah with you, right? So now let's go ahead and see what Naomi says in response. And we could go down towards 8 and see Ruth 1 and 8 and see what Naomi says.
God, Ruth, chapter 1, verse 8. And Naomi said unto her two daughters-in-law, go return each to her mother's house.
Now go and return each to their mother's house. Continue.
The Most High deal kindly with you, as ye have dealt with the day.
So the Most High is going to go ahead and treat you right and do right by you. The Most High is going to bless you because of how you were with my son. Continue.
And with me.
And how you were with me. So now, where is Ruth's mother's house? Well, it was in the land of Reuben, right? Now, I'm not going to go as far as to go ahead and say that Ruth is a Reubenite. It don't make a difference if she was or wasn't. She's an Israelite.
Right.
You know? So Naomi was instructing Ruth to go back to the land of Reuben, where her tribe was. However, Ruth wanted to go with Naomi to her people and to her tribe, right? That's what it's talking about. It's just going back, you know, to going to the land of Judah over here, right? And another point that a lot of the scoffers, the Christians, the Israelite groups, the other Israelite groups like to go ahead and mention, right? Their other point of contention is that Ruth isn't an Israelite based on the exchange of words Ruth and Naomi had in Ruth 1 and 15. Right, so let's go ahead and bring out Ruth 1 and 15. We can scroll down from here, right?
Ruth, chapter 1, verse 15.
And this is the biggest thing that a lot of the fake Israelite groups like to go ahead and say, especially like the Old Testaments, you know, the OT onlys. You know, they use this scripture over here, like, and they hold it so hard. They hold on to this thing and they truly believe what's going to be said here as, you know, as how it's taken. Let's go on.
Come. Ruth, chapter 1, verse 15. And she said, behold, thy sister-in-law is gone back unto her people.
So now, remember, Ruth and Orpah is the other Israelite woman's name, right? Orpah went back to her people, right? Orpah went back to her tribe, right? Continue on.
And unto her gods.
And unto her gods. Oh man, must be talking about Moabite gods, right? The Buddhists and the Taoists and the Feng Shui and you know, and all the other beliefs that, you know, Moabites hold near and dear nowadays.
Right.
Right? Continue on, sir.
Return thou after thy sister-in-law.
So now, Naomi is telling Ruth, Orpah left back to her mother's house, right, in their land. Do the same, please. You know, and pretty much what she's saying here when it's coming up to, like, you know, unto her people and unto her gods, Unto her people is Naomi saying unto her tribe, right? We've established that. Go ahead, sir.
So like you dropping so heavy, because sometimes people get, you know what I'm saying, misunderstood about her gods. You already know you got to go into the Hebrew and understand what the Israelites, when they say God.
Absolutely.
Let me go to my president. Let me go, you know what I'm saying? Let me go to my boss. Let me go to my judges.
Come on.
Because that's what God's mean in the Hebrew culture. God only mean authority.
Come on.
Let me go to the people who's over me, back to my land, to show me about the Lord's statute commandments. That's what he's talking about, because pretty much this is what the scripture is talking about. Following the Most High God. Let me go back to my gods.
Let me go back to my gods. Exactly. And that's exactly what I'm getting to. And what Officer Paratazar hit was dead on the money over here. Now it's saying over here unto her gods, right? Now, as we've already established in Ruth 1:1 multiple times, it says when the judges rule. When the judges rule. Now, Ruth took place when the judges of Israel were ruling.
That's right.
Right? So now, according to Ruth 1:15, let's define God. Right? And I have one of them up there where it should say Alahayim.
Alahayim?
Alahayim.
Just give me a second. There you go.
Right, yeah, it should be in it's going to be in that email.
The same thing?
Con.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be in the email. So, for those that are, in fact, can you pull up the blue letter? And then we'll look it up in live.
Oh.
Right?
Interlinear?
Con.
All right, give me a second.
In the blue letter Bible. You know, as we do every Friday, we go ahead and we teach the Hebrew, right? And we have amazing priests and officer in the school, like Officer Hazahav, who teaches the Hebrew, right? Up in the UK, Officer Ra'avan, right? Who teaches the Hebrew. We have Hebrew scholars here, right? That teach us the pronunciation of the word and the definitions of these words, right? So we have Ruth, 1:15. So where it says her gods, right there, H430. Oh, yeah, right there. That one. No, you just passed.
Yeah.
Right? Keep scrolling down, sir.
Oh, we're looking for Ruth, right?
No. Oh, yeah. Go up. Just one bit. Go up. All right. So yeah, where it says right there, rulers and judges. If you can share that tab, right? So now this is the definition of the word that's used, Alahayim, right? Strong's H430, Alahayim. And the first definition, it says there, rulers and judges, right? It's also going to be divine ones, angels, and gods, right? Another key scripture where they use the same thing, where they refer to gods as rulers and stuff like that, is used in Exodus 21:6. All right. If we could bring up Exodus 21:6.
Oh, you want it in a linear? Because it's right here.
Yeah, you can pull it up on a regular KJV and in the interlinear, so that we could go ahead and show the difference in that, right?
Got it. There you go right here. So, Wana Amar Ala Hayam, right here.
So, that's Genesis 1 and 6. It's Exodus 21 and 6.
Exodus, yeah, 21.
Exodus 21 and 6. On the top left, where it says Genesis, you just hit that, Exodus.
You said 21 and 6?
Come.
All right.
21. Look, it says the same word, right? You got to share it up.
I'm about to share it. Oh, yeah.
The Elohim, the same word, 430, Strong's 430. And what is the definition underneath that? The judges. Judges. It's not talking about Ruth going back to, her Moabite gods or goddesses and stuff like that. I think, what was a big Moabite god? I think it was like Remphan or something like that. That was like one of.
Here you go right here. We got it right here.
Same thing. Judges, right? It's used as in Exodus 21 and 6. Elohim. We're talking about the judges here. It's not talking about actual gods, right? So when the scripture says that she went back to her gods, it meant she went back to her rulers, her judges, right? Remember, Ruth took place during the time of judges. I'm going to keep repeating that over and over until y'all get it. Right? Those are the gods that she returned to. When talking about, whatever. I don't even want to go into the different. Yeah.
Moab.
So now during this time, there were different judges. There were different judges that were placed within each tribe to govern the people, right? And we can look at proof of that in the Bible. Salaki, sir, if we can get Deuteronomy 16 and 18, Baba Kashal.
Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 18. Judges and officers shall thy make thee in all thy gates.
Right, judges and officers, right? They're going to be put within the gates, within each tribe, right? Continue.
Yeah, I just want to blow it up. Here we go. Which the Most High thy power giveth thee throughout thy tribes.
Throughout thy tribes, through all of the tribes, right? Judges and officers shalt thou make thee in all thy gates, which the Most High thy power giveth thee throughout thy tribes, right? Continue on, sir.
And they shall judge the people with just judgment.
They shall judge the people with just judgment, with righteous judgment, right? Once again, this took place in the time of judges. I'm not reaching for anything over here.
Right.
I'm not making stuff up. Look, this is the Bible, right? So we go ahead and read that. So let's see here what we got. So now the judges in the land of Reuben, right, where Ruth was from, are different than the judges in the land of Judah.
That's right.
Right? Because there's different, not customs, but because the land is different, right? Some land might be allocated to certain families a little bit different. So those that have more cattle in the land of Reuben might be given more land versus those that don't have much, right? And they're there to go ahead and make sure order is maintained, right? within everything. So now let's Salaki, sir, if we can, let's go back up to Ruth 1:15.
Come on. Ruth, chapter 1, verse 15. And she said, behold, thy sister-in-law is gone back unto her people.
Your sister-in-law went back to her tribe.
And unto her gods.
And unto her judges.
Return thy after thy sister-in-law.
So go ahead and do the same thing that your sister-in-law is doing, right? And go back to your mother's house, right? So let's go ahead and see what Ruth says in return after Naomi tells her that. 16. Yes, Salaki.
We got Ruth chapter 1, verse 16. And Ruth said, entreat me not to leave thee, or to return from the following after thee. For whether thou goest, I will go, and where thy lodgest, I will lodge.
All right. So pretty much what Ruth is telling Naomi here is that I'm going wherever you go. We're family.
That's right.
Right? And where you live, I'll live with you. Right? That's pretty much where it says. So it's like wherever you go, I'm going with you. And where you lodge is like where you lodge is where you dwell at, where you're staying at. Right? I'm going to stay there with you. Right? Continue on, sir.
Come. Thy people shall be my people, and thy God my God.
All right. So now I want you to notice something in that. If you could read, thy people shall be my people. Read that again. Come on.
Thy people shall be my people.
Or now, I want you to notice something really, really minuscule in here, right? I don't know if anyone sees anything that's going on within those handful of letters over there, a handful of words. With thy people shall be my people, right? Probably not, right? But it's something that's so small, it goes unnoticed, right? The words shall be are italicized, right?
Oh.
And they're in italic, right? Meaning those words and all the words that are italic for that matter, right, were not in the original Hebrew writings at all. Those words were added later on. If we could go ahead and look up the definition of italicized letters. I sent you the screenshot of it in the email. It should be up on one of those things for the emails.
Oh, you're gonna send it now?
No. Yeah, with the pictures of the rest of the stuff from last week.
All right, that's right. Hebrew word? No, it's right here. Should be.
Yeah. Right there. You just passed it. That's it.
Oh, I tell it? All right.
Yeah.
Let me see this. All right.
Yeah, let's blow that up real quick. Click that.
All right.
There we go. If you can go ahead and read what the italic letters are in the Bible, Baba, show.
Come on. Italic in the Bible indicate that the words were not included in the original text. For example, in English, equivalent of this person / this man / this woman / would simply become this in the Hebrew. So this in the Hebrew would become this man / this woman / this person in the English.
All right. So pretty much what that's saying is that anything in the Bible that is in like small slanted letters, right? If it's very minuscule to go ahead and see. but the font is just a smidge different, right? For the italics, right? That indicates that, what were you going to say, sir?
No, you're dropping it so heavy because it now is becoming, when the translators is looking at this, they can't really find the word to translate it.
Okay.
So they do the best of their ability to say, I think it says this in this, you know what I'm saying? In this paragraph, I think it says this.
I think it means this.
Yeah, I think it means this, Laki. I think it means this. But when I read it in the Hebrew, it's not there.
Okay.
That's what it says. So for translated purposes, I'm going to put this so you can understand it, but I'm going to let you know this is just my thought. I think this is what it means.
God.
That's the italic.
That's exactly what it is. So if we can go back to Ruth 1:16 again, Baba Kashaw.
Ruth, chapter 1, verse 16. And Ruth said, entreat me not to leave thee, or to return from following after thee. For whether thou goest, I will go, and where thy lodgest, I will lodge. Thy people shall be my people.
All right, now good. Now I want you to go ahead and say that without the italicized, right? So the italicized is going to be shall be, right? Now say the sentence the way it's supposed to be. Skipping these two letters out of the way. Just read this right here. Mm-hmm. Thy people, my people.
Let me see here. I will lodge it. I will lodge. Thy people, my people.
Your people, my people, right? And since we know Naomi is an Israelite because she came from Judah, right? That's what she's telling. That's what Ruth is telling her. Your people are my people. Wherever you go, I'm going. Your people are my people. Your judges will be my judges, right? And that's what it's saying here. Because now that we define the term God, right? It means judges, right? Your people are my people. And your judges are my judges, right?
Also, you know what I'm saying? Not only that, in the definitions, judges or rulers.
God. So now, and it says, thy God, my God, right? We established that this is talking about judges. She's still talking about the judges because Ruth is still responding to what Naomi said about her sister-in-law going back to her gods, which means her judges. So if you put this in modern terms, Ruth is saying, I'm going with you. Your judges are my judges, right? Your people are my people. Remember, the judges in Reuben are different than the judges in Judah. We've established that in Deuteronomy 16 and 18. This was the office or the duty, like just how the school has certain offices and duties and things that you have to do here, right? It's the same thing with those judges. Same thing like how we have here in the school. We have council. We have those that are in charge of Sabbath service, those that are in charge of Shamar, so on and so forth, right? The judges maintain the order, right? And those were the elders, the officers, and other men charged with the care of every situation possible, right? Here in America and all throughout, wherever a UPK flag stands, right? Commanding General Yohanan is our judge. All right. He's the one that supersedes everything. He overwatches everything that goes on here. And nothing happens without his approval or without his knowledge. Right. And he appointed his generals also to help him out in that task. Right. Men with authority and power in the nation. That's what judges are. Go ahead, sir.
Sorry, if I may. See, this goes along with our oppressor. Our oppressor is so deceitful because he want to write himself in the Bible. He doing disgusting, perverted stuff. He's unaliving people. He's violating people. He's taking people's land and trying to becoming the people. Meanwhile, he read the Bible. He's like, I want to believe in the Bible. I want to believe in the Bible. But this is the reason why I can't, you know what I'm saying? I cannot believe in this Bible, because this Bible is going up against the things that I'm doing and who I am.
Absolutely.
So he taught you. Now, you know what I'm saying? He confuses you. Naomi, you know what I'm saying? All the books in the Bible, Naomi's the only non-Israelite.
Ruth is the only.
Ruth
Yeah,
is the
Ruth.
non-Israelite. This is what our oppressors did. Oh, you know what I'm saying? God loved everybody. This is what the oppressor did. On top of, he's unaliving everybody.
Damn right.
How can he, you know what I'm saying? How can he justify teaching you the Bible, and the Bible is going against everything that he's doing
That's right.
at that moment in time?
That's right.
You know what he's going to do? He's going to confuse you. Jesus loved everybody. John 3:16. There's no Jew or Greek. This is what he's going to do. That's the Old Testament. You know what I'm saying? In the New Testament, he went out for the Gentiles. I'm a Gentile. You a Gentile.
Damn right.
This is what he do, and that's how disgusted that he is. You know what I mean? He tried to written himself, and guess what? On top of that, Jesus looked like him.
Mm-hmm.
On top of everything, Jesus looked like him, and guess what? The Israelites look like him also.
Yep.
That's what he do. So,
No, that's too out. What were you gonna say?
I just want to say on top of what Officer just said, he also tells us that the Israelites are Amalek.
Yeah, the small
Those people
hats.
over there. Small hats.
Con. So if he can, sir, Baba Kashar, if we can bring up Exodus 22 and 28.
got it. Exodus. Exodus chapter 20. You said 22 and 28.
22 and 28. Con.
Exodus chapter 22, verse 28. Thou shalt not revile the God.
So now revile means to speak against, to speak ill about, right? Continue on.
Nor curse the ruler of thy people.
All right. So now it says, thou shalt not revile the gods, nor curse the ruler of thy people. Right? Go ahead, sir.
That reminds me of Elijah. Elijah was the 2 Kings 19 and something. When they were going to war with the northern of Israel, something like that. I know if you recall with Rogers as well, that he was saying, prophesying. So they didn't want to hear him. They would say, nah, don't not him.
You just saw Isaiah chapter 30, verse
Right.
9. When he preach to us smooth things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Prophesy deceitful things.
Right.
That's what he's talking about.
What? Yeah, that was the one.
All right.
This is 22 and 28.
Con.
Survive.
Right? So now it means don't speak, like revile means not to speak ill about or to speak against, right? The gods. And we've established once again that means the judges.
That's right. That's right.
Nor curse the ruler of thy nation. And it puts emphasis, because what are judges? They are rulers also, right? Like we're not making this up. So now we know that this is saying don't speak against. We know this is saying don't speak against other gods. However, the Most High was strictly against idol worship, right? It's not sitting here and saying don't speak against other gods, like don't speak against Remphan, don't speak against the Canaanite gods, don't speak about, all the other gods, because the Most High was strictly, vehemently against idol worship of any type. So does this mean don't speak ill about those other gods, about Allah? Don't speak bad about Allah? No, it's talking about the judges, right? So now, after we've defined that word, right, this is a key scripture to go ahead and put emphasis on that. Now we know that this isn't talking about deities. This is talking about the judges. The judges ruled over people. And this is another good thing about the scriptures, that this is a staple UPK verse for rank, structure, and authority. Don't talk back against the officers or the men above you. Don't talk bad. If you're in this school, don't talk bad about any brother at all, for that matter, right? You do not speak out against the men above you or anyone in this school at all, for that matter. Go ahead, sir.
Oh no, would you drop it so heavy? Now, the water for this right here, because I don't know how I didn't find this one right here. This is for the Christians right here. You will read this, you ask them, what God is this? What God is this right here? Because you know, they said, God is only, you know what I'm saying? When you talk about the Most High God, it would be a lowercase, or, you know what I'm saying? Or an uppercase.
An uppercase, come.
But we can see right here, if we read the scripture, and I'm going to pull it, that God's uppercase is talking about the rulers also. You know what I mean? But what God is this? If you ask the Christian, what God is this then?
It's saying don't speak bad about God.
It's telling God's chosen people, don't speak bad about him, but you shall not have no other God, you know what I'm saying, besides me. This is a God besides him. This is a cut right here. And you ain't allowed to curse. This is to let you know. Blacks, Hispanics, and American Indians. The F word is not a curse.
Right.
The bitch word is not a curse.
Right.
The S word is not a goddamn curse. You know what a curse is?
Can you get me some water, Baba Kashaw?
You know what a curse is? And that's what is in our laws. Our laws have commandment.
Damn right.
Curse is like, I hope that, you know what I'm saying? I hope the Ephraimites die. That's a curse right there.
Yeah.
I hope the Judites die. That's a curse right there.
Right.
That's a curse. But you know what I'm saying? If you're saying F word or, you know what I'm saying, the B word, that's not a curse.
Right.
According to the Bible.
And that's why the scripture is so heavy.
And that's what they say.
Right.
You're not allowed.
Because when you're talking back to hey, my pop, can you help me find a cup for me, Baba Kashaw?
Very good.
Oh no, that water machine right there.
Yeah, that's the only cup.
Yeah, that's wrong. Right. Speaking bad against the officers here in this school is the equivalent of cursing. Right? And they say, they say a lot of ill stuff towards us. I'll tell you that much, ain't the water.
And Slocky, if I may, also, that word, when we're going into Hebrew, that word is also talking about suffer sin upon your brother.
Absolutely.
You can't suffer sin upon your brother. That's what it's saying also. Slocky.
All right. So now that we've established that the dialogue between Ruth and Naomi, right, we've put in concrete what they said, right? Now we're going to go ahead and proceed on. We're not going to go ahead and drag this any longer in terms of that, right? We're going to go to the next point of contention that the scoffers always ask, right? Oh, why did Ruth say she was a stranger then, right? Why did she go ahead and say, oh, you're a stranger? Now, if you can, Sir Baba Kashar, if we could go to Ruth 2 and 10, we're going to bring that. We're going to attack it right at the root of it, right? 2 and 10.
Ruth, chapter 2, verse 10. Then shall fall. Then she fell on her face and bowed herself to the ground and said unto him, why have I found grace in thy eyes, that thou shouldest take
That's it. They got us. Ruth's a stranger, she says. Then she fell on her face and bowed herself to the ground and said unto him, right? And the him is Boaz, right? Why have I found grace in thine eyes, that thou shalt take knowledge of me, seeing I am a stranger, right? Why are you treating me so good? You know, why are you doing this for me? But let's get some context into that. If we could go up to 8, you know, and big ups to General Mahayman. General Mahayman, coming up as a young man in here, he's always taught me if you want to get context on any verse, you go 2 to 3 verses above it so that you can get some context on that, right?
Ruth, chapter 2, verse 8. Then said Boaz unto Ruth, hearest thou not, my daughter? Go not to glean in another field, neither go from hence, but abide here fast by my maiden.
All right, so pretty much what Boaz is saying here, right? Don't go to any other fields, right? Go and stay, work here, and pick the fields that are over here, right? Go not glean in another field, neither go from hence, don't leave from here, right? So when Boaz saw Ruth gathering corn, right, we know what she was doing gleaning, right, in that field was that she was gathering corn, right? In Ruth 2 and 2, if you want to, so yeah, let's go up to Ruth 2 and 2. So we can go ahead and prove that, right?
Ruth,
what she was doing.
Chapter 2, verse 2. And Ruth, the Moabitess, said unto Naomi, let me now go to the field and glean ears of corn after him in whom sight I shall find grace. And she said unto her, go, my daughter.
All right. So now we know what she was doing. She was picking the corn in that field, right? And in Ruth 2 and 8, when Boaz saw Ruth picking the corn in the field, Boaz told Ruth not to leave and to stay with Boaz and the other women there. We can go down towards verse 9, Baba Kishal.
Ruth chapter 2, verse 9. Let thy eyes be on the field that they do reap, and go thy after them. Have I not charged the young man that they shall not touch thee?
All right, so this, on that particular part, that's Boaz telling Ruth that he instructed the men that also work over there not to touch Ruth. Don't touch that woman at all. That is in order. Continue on, sir.
Come. And when thy art, what is that? After this?
A thirst.
A thirst? It's like, and when thy art thirst, go unto the vessels and drink of that which the young men have drawn.
So Boaz is saying here, when you're thirsty, take a break, right? And in that break, drink some water. Boaz is being extra nice to Ruth here, right? Now, if we take the context and go to verse 10, this is Ruth asking, why are you being so nice to me? You don't even know me. That's what he's talking about, saying, you know, seeing as I'm a stranger, right? You don't even know who I am. And Boaz is being a good brother to her, right? According to the law. We're going to find out how righteous Boaz is. Salaki, so let me get Leviticus 25 and 35.
Well done. Most high in Christ, man. You definitely on it. Leviticus, there you go. Chapter 25, verse 35, right?
Come on.
Okay. Chapter 25, verse 35.
No, you put 24.
Oh, 24 slot.
25.
35. There we go. And if thy brother,
And you know what's another word that supplements brother? Your sister,
that's right,
right? And if your sister, go ahead,
be waxed poor and fallen into decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him.
or her.
Yea, do he be a stranger,
A what?
a stranger,
A what?
a stranger,
A stranger. Go ahead.
or a sojourner, that he may live with thee.
All right. So this is Boaz following this law right here, right? He's not going to go ahead and be a stranger to a bloodline Moabite, right? It was already written down. It was already decreed as law, right? That a Moabite shall not be in the congregation of Israel, even up to the 10th generation, right? You think Boaz is going to go ahead and show compassion or give his resources and his land to some bloodline Moabite? Absolutely not. So now we know that this has nothing to do with Ruth being a stranger in the sense of a bloodline Moabite, right? She called herself a stranger in the context that Boaz didn't know her. And let's go ahead and see what Boaz says in response to that also.
All right.
If you could go up to the next verse, Ruth 2 and 11.
Oh, God. Ruth, chapter 2, verse 11. And Boaz answered and said unto her, it hath fully been shown me.
All right, that and so to put that in the modern terms also, it hath fully been shown to me. It means Boaz already heard about her. You know, I heard about you before you came up to this land. All right?
All that,
Go ahead, sir.
All that thou hast done,
Hast
done unto thy mother-in-law since the death of thy husband.
So I already heard about the sisterly stuff you've done with Naomi, right? All the way up into the death of your husband, which is her son. Go ahead, sir.
And how thou hast left thy father and thy mother in the land of thy
Nativity.
and art come unto a people which thou knoweth not therefore.
All right. So in this, right, Boaz has already heard about her, right? If you go up to Ruth 2 and 5 and 6, it's the servants that go ahead and brief Boaz, right? Right there, Con, if you could read that, Baba Kashan.
Ruth chapter 2 verse 5. Then said Boaz unto his servant that was set over the reapers, whose damsel is this?
Whose damsel is this?
Damsel is this?
Who's this lady that's over here? Right, that's what Boaz is asking the people that work in his land. Who's this lady? Continue on.
And the servant that was set over the reapers answered and said, it is the Moabitess damsel that came back from Naomi.
With Naomi.
With Naomi out of the country of Moab.
All right, so this is pretty much saying that Boaz's servants already informed him about her and who she is and where she's from, right? That's, you know, all of that is important stuff, right? Can we bring it back down to verse 11, Baba Kashaw?
Ruth chapter 2 verse 11.
It's always good to bounce around. We have to bounce around so that we can get the proper context of things, so that we can get the storyline and the history set up straight. All right.
And Boaz answered and said unto her, It hath fully been shown me all that thou hast done unto thy mother-in-law since the death of thy husband, and how thou hast left thy father and thy mother, and the land of thy
Nativity. So now nativity means the land where she was born in, right? So she was born in the country of Moab, which was in the land that was given to Reuben. This is also called the plains of Moab, right? And it says, continue on, sir.
And which art came unto a people which thou knowest not therefore.
So now this is saying that Ruth wasn't familiar with the Israelites that were in Judah. She's not too savvy of what it's like, living with Judites, right? So like, let's go say you're from New York, right? And then you go like somewhere down south, right? Let's go say you go to Alabama, right? Now the Judites in the south are going to be far different than like the Harlem Judites over here, right? Just like the Judites from up here are going to be far different than the Judites in Canada or the Judites on the West Coast.
That's right.
Right? It's same people, but like they move different, they talk different, they there's a difference about them. So. And this is all true all throughout the world also. Go ahead, sir.
Oh, it's a lot. If I may, that's the same thing that we have the family barbecue. Everybody coming from different states. It's still, even though it is one family, everybody got on the same, BS t-shirt. Everybody know that it's different. That's your cousin from Alabama. You can hear everybody's different accents. Yep. You know what I mean? Different belief, you know what I mean? Different look, so on and so forth, but everybody is one family. You see that all the time. They happen all the time. And you know what's ironic about it? Judites is known, even though even though they're not from that family, they will blend in to that family.
Damn right.
You know what I mean? Because they know, even Tupac would say, yo, we black, we all together. You know what I mean? And that's how you blending into the barbecue. You know what I mean? Whitney Young Yonkers is known for that. We blend into the Puerto Ricans, the Dominican parties all the time.
And that's essentially what Ruth is doing. Like now she has to adjust herself into living in Judah with Naomi, right? She has to get accustomed to that.
That's right.
And now we go up into the most crucial part about this, right? The law of kinsmen. Right, that's one thing that Captain Katazar, when he would go ahead and teach this class on Ruth being an Israelite, he would always harp on what it is for the law of kinsmen, right? And Salaki, sir, whenever you get a chance, if you could get me to Deuteronomy 27:8.
27:8. Second. Probably sorry, young man, pull up Deuteronomy chapter 27, verse 8.
Read it.
Con, if you can.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27, verse 7 and 8.
8 through, we're going to go from 8 to 11.
Verse 8. And thou shalt write upon the stones all
I said Deuteronomy?
Yes, sir.
All right, Salaki, I meant Numbers. Salaki. I meant Numbers.
27. Okay.
Yeah, Numbers 27 and 8.
The book of Numbers, chapter 27, verse 8. And thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a man die and have no son, then ye shall cause his inheritance to pass under his daughter.
So now if a man and a woman is married, right? And if the husband has passed, right? All of his land, all of his inheritance goes to his son. But if he has no sons, then it gets passed down to his daughter, right? So now in the instance, now we're going to go ahead and continue on, and then we're going to see how all of this comes together and how this all relates to Ruth. Go down to verse 9, Baba Kashaw.
Book of Numbers, chapter 27, verse 9. And if he have no daughter, then ye shall give his inheritance unto his brethren.
All right, so now if that man has no sons or daughters, it goes to his brother, right? Continue on.
Verse 10. Say concert, verse 10. And if he have no brethren, then he shall give his inheritance unto his father's brethren.
So now if he's an only child and he dies, right? And his father has passed also, right? And that's going to go to his father's brother, his uncle, right? Continue on to verse 11.
I will come. And if his father have no brethren, then he shall give his inheritance unto his kinsman that is next to him of his family.
So it's going to be the next of kin. If it's not his son, if it's not his daughter, if it's not his brother, if it's not his father, then it's going to be the next of kin. Continue on.
I will come. And he shall possess it. And it shall be unto the children of Israel a statute of judgment.
A what?
A statute of judgment.
A statute of judgment, a law. Continue on.
As the Lord commanded Moses.
As the Most High commanded Moses, right? So this is Moses is talking, and he is explaining what the law of kinsmen is and where an inheritance gets passed down to in the event of a death, right? So now in verse 11 it says, and then he shall give his inheritance unto his kinsman that is next to him in his family. So now Ruth found out that Boaz was a near kinsman, right? She wanted Boaz to marry him, right? And here is what Boaz has to go ahead and say about that, right? So now Ruth is like, okay, you know, I think this you'll be the next one, because mind you, the inheritance of her father-in-law, because her sons died, went on to her, but now she needs to have a husband to go ahead and claim that inheritance that she has, right? So if you can, sir, let me get Ruth 3 and 12, Baba Kashaw.
Ruth chapter 3 verse 12. And now it is true that I am thy near kinsman. How be it? How
be it means, however,
there is a kinsman nearer than I.
All right. So now the question at hand in this, why did Boaz hesitate to marry Ruth? Right? He hesitated because he knew he was not the nearest kinsman. The law says it had to be the closest relative or the nearest kinsman. Boaz knew that he was not a relative. Boaz knew that there was a relative closer than him. So this proves that Boaz would not compromise the law here. Right? And here's what Boaz has to say further. If we can go on to verse 13.
Ruth chapter 3 verse 13. Tarry this night, and it shall be in the morning that if he will perform unto thee the part of a kinsman, will let him do the kinsman part. But if he will not do the Salaki. But if he will not do the part of a kinsman to thee, then I will do the part of a kinsman to thee. As the Most High liveth, lie down unto the morning.
All right, so now understand how righteous Boaz is and how meticulous and how careful he is in keeping the law, right? Keeping this law of a kinsman.
Right.
Tarry this night, and it shall be in the morning that if he will perform unto thee the part of a kinsman, well, let him do the kinsman part.
Mm-hmm.
But if he will not do the part of a kinsman to thee,
that's right,
then I will do the part of a kinsman to thee.
Mm.
As the Most High liveth, lie down until the morning. Right? So now Boaz was careful about keeping this law properly when it came to Ruth. Right? Now, why would he be careless in marrying her if she was a bloodline Moabite? Why is he keeping the law of kinsmen, right, to a Moabite?
Oh.
Like that's a heavy cut, right? So now, yeah, if young man, if you could get me Deuteronomy 23:3, Baba Kashaw.
God. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 3. An Ammonite or Moabite shall not enter into the congregation.
Can you give me those two nations again, nice and loud, Baba Kashaw?
An Ammonite.
An Ammonite.
Or Moabite.
Or Moabite.
Shall not enter into the congregation.
Shall not enter into the congregation, right? Shall not enter into the community, right? Shall not enter into the gates. Shall not enter into the land. Continue.
Of the Most High.
Of the Lord, of the Most High. Right? He is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Not the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Moab. Right? Or of Lot. Right? He is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Right.
Continue on.
God. Even to their 10th generation.
That means your great-great-grandkids times 10 are allowed to come in. Continue on.
Wait, slide. This is dropping so heavy because remember we're talking about Ruth in real time. You know what I'm saying? Boaz is right there. He's looking at her. You know what I mean? And he want to marry her. Is that the 10th generation? Because you know, Israelites say we're gonna wait until the 10th generation, then we're gonna marry some Moabite or some Ammonites. Was that the 10th generation? Or that was just literally face to face with the person? That's what you know what I'm saying. That's what we're talking. So this right here, this scripture right here, to let you know what, you know what I mean. For you to marry, you know what I'm saying. That means that brother going to break the law. He's going to marry her. He's going to marry a Moabite. It's against the law to marry a Moabite.
That's right.
He didn't even wait till the 10th generation. At least you know what I'm saying. You got some leeway to say it was the 10th. It's the 11th generation. Right. I'm going to marry her. This is at the moment in time. Slide.
He already knew her registry.
He knew it.
He knew her registry, and she was an Israelite. She and Boaz kept the law to a T, and said, "Wait till tonight, and if the nearest kinsman won't marry you, right, then I will do that part of a kinsman. I'll be the one to marry you, right? As the Most High liveth." Right? That's thus saith the Lord. That's law. right? That's what that's saying. So when we read Deuteronomy 23:3, right, is Boaz ignoring this law, just as you said? Did Boaz just cherry pick the laws that he wanted to keep? Did he marry an actual bloodline Moabite after he did his due diligence? After he went through so much to keep the law, right? He wanted to keep it properly, right? In the ISUPK here, in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, right there in that sign, it says, don't be sure, make sure.
Yeah, right.
Boaz did that too. Boaz made sure. Boaz was certain she was an Israelite. And Boaz, a faithful servant of the Lord, would never marry a Moabite woman. Boaz ensured he didn't break the law so that he could marry Ruth. But he's going to break the law and marry Ruth if she's a Moabite? So he wouldn't break it if she was an Israelite, but he would have broken it if she was a bloodline Moabite. Like, it doesn't make sense, right? It's all a bunch of confusion if you believe she's a bloodline Moabite. And the Most High is not the God of confusion. Right? Go ahead, sir.
If I may, you're dropping it so heavy. If she, you know what I mean? If it was confusing, if she's like, you know what I mean? If it was an Israelite, even though she is an Israelite, you try to say, you know what I'm saying? Moab loved the Moabites, but he didn't like the Israelites, so he would never consider, you know what I'm saying, the Kingsman law.
Exactly.
He would never consider that.
He would never consider
Israelite.
Yeah.
I'm not dealing with it.
Because then she wouldn't be a kinsman. She wouldn't be a kinsman.
Right.
Right? Boaz did everything right so that he can marry Ruth. Ruth, the Israelite woman from the country of Moab. And we just finished up in time. Right? And with that, I pass this class on to Officer Paratazar.
All right, clap it up for the class. ISUPK security announcements.
Right on time. I thought I might have had it done a part 3.
Hey, I think it is a part 3, let you know. So, ISUPK security announcement. We are the ISUPK, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rules for a new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister come to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are here to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves up of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. This is another 6-month period in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. Malachi chapter 8, verse 8 through 10, mean 10 in the Hebrew, ma'ashara. 10% every penny of any increase the Most High give you, give to Treasury Department or teacher. Preach fund, free will offering. Free will offering, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming Holy Convocation is the end of the Feast of Tabernacles this Thursday at 7 at sundown. This Thursday at 7 sundown. You know what I'm saying? That's the Feast of Tabernacles, the Lord's Feast. Make sure you wear your priesthood. Make sure you wear formal attire. Make sure you wear your garment. All right.
Priestly attire.
Yeah, priesthood attire, formal attire. Let me see. Announce the Holy Convocation. I already did that. Remind the Akim, you know what I'm saying? To check. Go to ISUPK.com. Scroll down. Look for the Feast of Tabernacles. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, handbands, and scarf. And with that, Mena Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute. Mena Israel Amajum, which means to stand. Mena Israel Man Shabbat. Amajum, Barak. Yahweh Shem Yahshua Rakadam. Yazim Class dismissed.